Good afternoon, South Africa. Lovely to have you with us. You're watching Afternoon Express right here on SABC3. My name is Bonang Matiba, and today on the show, we're tackling a very, very important topic. Now, last week, South Africa released its crime statistics for 2015 and 2016, and it was reported that although drug offences had dropped, there's still an average of about 710 drug-related crimes that are committed every single day. Well, that was over the past year. So today, in the loft, we have a young man by the name of Ashley Potts. Well, not young, but making a difference nonetheless, who has dedicated his life to really changing the lives of those who are, battling with drug addiction. So make sure that you don't go anywhere. It's going to be such an fascinating topic to unpack. But of course, I'm not alone in the loft. Bonnie is in the kitchen. Let's see what we're cooking up today.
Welcome back, South Africa, to your favorite kitchen. Today, Clem has invited a special guest, Arthur Jones, fitness guru and editor of Men's Health, to a burger challenge. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Wow, I really can't wait to see how this is going to fare out.
It's
and
friendly.
It's friendly, hey? Friendly match. We're just making burgers today.
Yeah.
What's the specialty?
So we're making two types. Mine's a little naughty, and I've kind of snuck something in between the patties there. Again, it's a little bit of a treat. And then Arthur, why don't you tell us what you're going to make?
Yeah, give us a sneak peek.
The Men's Health burger is a little bit healthier, a bit more protein, and we thought that it's the perfect post-training treat to make for yourself. So ours is going to have the brown seeded rolls for a bit more health, a sweet potato side, and it's going to have some Parmesan inside the actual patties. So it's going to be fantastic.
Wow, I know when the sides are that big that it's a super manly burger.
Exactly.
Well, for now, let's head back to the couch with our first guest, with Bonang.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. Now, drug abuse in South Africa is an issue that can never, ever be over-reported. It's an issue that affects pretty much all the communities in our country in, some way. Last week, the South African crime stats were released, and while some of the media in our country is talking about the high rate of violent crimes, we thought that considering there is an average of 710 drug-related crimes committed every single day in 2015, 2016, we would focus on that issue. So in the loft, we're joined by Ashley Potts, Director of Cape Town Drug Counselling Centre. Ashley, welcome to Afternoon Express. Lovely to meet you.
Likewise, man.
That is a very big number, 710 drug-related crimes committed every single day. Now, how prevalent is, this issue in our country? And is it the highest in the world?
Well, we are rated to be the capital of drugs in our country, and that is quite the sad statistic and reality. But the problem is not so much the fact that there is a drug problem. The challenge we have is that the treatment that is necessary for those that are struggling with it is not effective, or not sufficient, rather.
And, apart from the addiction that we all know about, what are the other negative impacts that, drug addiction has on an individual?
The other effects are the fact that a lot of young people don't get to go over to tertiary education because they've been starting to use cannabis or took meth at a very young age. And so those effects are real. And it impacts just about everybody in our communities.
Absolutely. It really does have a domino effect. So let's start in the home with the family members. How do they spot whether a family member is using drugs, could be addicted to drugs, is slowly falling into the pit of drug addiction?
Yeah. Well, there is what we call the two kind of indicators. The one would be the physical indicator, and then the other would be more kind of the behavioral indicator. So those two signs are very easy to help you identify that there's a problem. It could be things like their behavior or their physical changes, like their sleeping pattern changes. So instead of sleeping usually like normal people would do from the evening to the morning, they would sleep erratically any time of the day or stay awake for longer periods. The same would be, for their hygiene, it drops. So they take less pride in the way they look or how they clean themselves. And so those are very clear indicators that you can look at in the physical realm. And then the behavioral would be the need for more finance and the loss of things within the home context, so stuff goes missing. Those are very important telltale signs that you need to pick up on.
And what is the first step, as a family member, when you can see or you sort of can tell that something isn't right with my family members, niece, son, daughter, whatever it is? What advice do you give to family members out there?
What could be a better way to address it in the family context is not to immediately confront it. Give us a call, give any of the treatment services a call. There's a hotline as well that the city has made available. So speak to a professional. It's a specialist field. Speak to those that are able to give direct information and direct advice for how to be able to redress the problem. The challenge is often that they don't know, and that don't know could cause them to react in a way that will just cause the person, the individual, him or her, to go further.
And that's why you're here, because a lot of people don't know. So, first of all, how important is, you know, peer interaction and your friends being involved, your family members? And what treatments or programs are there in place for somebody that's struggling with drug addiction?
Yeah, in many respects, it's a very reactive solution that we currently have in our country, and the need is to be at a preventative level. A lot more awareness needs to be created. A lot of people don't understand that if you say it's an illness, you know, people would almost be offended. How can you say it's an illness? People are doing this drugs for years, and it's just because they're bad people or they just can't make right choices. And that's not the case. It has been medically proven to be an illness of the brain. And we wanting to be able to help people to not consider it to be a bad thing when they need help or they need to speak to someone to get help. So the stigma is very negative. When you think about a drug user or an addict, immediately you have negative connotations linked to that. And so helping to get rid of the stigma is a very, very vital part of this process, and that comes through awareness and getting education on it. And
absolutely. And I can hear you saying we need to prevent, and not treat. Do you think that would have an impact on the number of people that are, you know, battling with drug addiction?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've always heard the saying, prevention is better than cure.
Absolutely.
The reality is that we're providing the treatment which does help, and it is very necessary at this point. But we also need to look at a parallel process that will almost see just as much resources being plowed into preventing it. A lot of our intakes or clients that are accessing the service are from a primary level and early high school level. And so we find young people at the age of 6, 7, 8 already starting. We use the term regarded as when they come into the doors as presenting. So they would come and present that they have a problem. And oftentimes this would be at the tail end of them being caught or suspended, or eventually now this is your punishment, you must go for rehab. And it's not. I mean, would you do the same for a diabetic? No, you'd provide him with a medical service.
Absolutely.
And our country needs to evolve to a place where we can, from a health perspective, start to deal and redress the issue of addiction.
Absolutely. And I mean, there are a lot of private clinics. But let's, you know, actually think about the citizens in this country who don't have the resources or the money to afford to go to a rehab clinic or private clinic.
Right.
What can they do for the less privileged communities?
Yeah. Could I maybe just quickly just say that there's very a particular interest in the private clinics because of the need to send people away. Families often see the problem, and then they come to you with the individual that needs help, and they would say, fix him, fix her, expecting...
But that's what we see on TV. Take him to rehab.
That's right.
Stuff him away. You understand what I'm saying?
And
that's what we know.
it's a costly experience. Yet there are treatment services that is outpatient, which is what we offer. And there's a lot others that do that. The inpatient has its value and it has its place. It's when it cannot be managed on an outpatient basis that we would need to be referring them to an inpatient institution. The outpatient helps the family member to be able to understand that this is something that they have to participate in. They cannot just wish it away.
Absolutely.
Or send them away to get it resolved. They're going to come back home. The triggers that they have been exposed to is in the community or in the home they live in.
Absolutely.
So a better alternative would be to get the information that you need as a family on how you can play a different role.
Sure. I've got so many questions, and I'm sure people at home do too. What a very important topic we're talking about today. But one of the most powerful ways to combat drug addiction, and especially keeping the youth from resorting to drugs, is to provide them with constructive and positive activities to occupy their free time. Siyanqoba Life Coaching in Johannesburg is doing just that and setting up various activities at schools to help empower and educate the youth. Now, one of these activities is music, and this is why they started a band called Sounds of Blessed Voices. Take a look.
Siyanqoba Life Coaching started last year When I was doing the course, our focus is to help the children to overcome this bad habit of using drugs. And the reason why I'm using these young people to sing music, it is because I think, one of the things that causes the children to use drugs, it is because of boredom. They don't have anything to do, so we're actually trying to encourage them to see that they can be creative and do something using music. So that is why I am traveling with SOBV.
I think music helps you stay away from drugs because it's time consuming because you keep yourself busy with music.
Music does take time, but it takes time in a good way because you're practicing and you're trying to better yourself.
Well, music relaxes me in a way. I feel much better when I'm listening to music, playing music, singing, and being part of music. So it's better than just not doing anything.
It is important educating our children regarding the dangers of drugs because the learners want to experiment. There's a lot of damage that can be done to a child, especially when it comes to peer pressure because the learners want to follow a group. There's this other sense of belonging or sense of loyalty to a group. So it is very important that we educate our children. And luckily we have subjects like ELO, which touches basis on drugs and alcohol abuse. So we actually educate them when it comes to those subjects.
It was a very educational experience. I enjoyed the booklets. It had a lot of information on the different types of drugs and the side effects. And the testimonies as well. I felt being able to relate to a real life experience helped a lot more than somebody just telling you not to do drugs.
What I've taken away from today is there are many myths that we receive about drugs, and we are exposed to all these things, and it takes a choice and a decision to actually decide to keep away from these drugs.
The message that I'm trying to give out to the children is that it is actually better to start now to work with those who have not started using the drugs, because those who are addicted already, it is a problem. So the message that we're trying to bring out to the children is that they shouldn't even start using them at all.
Wow, some inspiring stuff there from this young Ngoba group. Lovely, lovely work. I mean, actually seeing that, my question to you would be then, as a community, how do you get involved when you hear, drug-related cases in the community, a next-door neighbor? It must be a very difficult position to be in, but what can I do anonymously?
I think there's lots of ways that the parents or the family or the community can get involved. A simple way would be to get into the education part of it. We offer a family workshop, which gives them the skills that they need to be able to communicate differently to the person using the substance. So that is a very critical part of the process. By rather communicating positively to that individual, it's the start of a process of gaining his or her trust and being able then to influence him or her to get to a treatment service. So helping to get yourself educated is a start of the process.
I love that. And watching what you say and how you communicate. Very, very, very important, because words are very powerful. But the conversation continues right here on Afternoon Express with Ashley. Make sure you don't go anywhere. But right now, it's back to Bonnie in the kitchen.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, there's about to be a big burger cook-off in the kitchen, so don't miss that. And when we return, we also chat to Shreude, our resident dietitian, and we talk supplements. Are they good for us? Do we need them? Do we not? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now the moment we've all been waiting for, how to make the ultimate. You make the best burgers.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
You can't say we've got a guest here today.
Yeah, we do.
You got to be like, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, I'm just, making him a bit scared.
No. Arthur knows his way around the kitchen, no problem. So today, my burgers, like I said, it's a little bit of that naughty burger. So the reason it's naughty is because I'm going to stuff my patties with a little bit of cheese.
Wow, that is naughty.
It is. So
I've never seen that done before.
Woolies have this amazing promotion. It's the eating for 150. So you get a whole lot of goodies, including a dessert for 150 Rand.
Yeah,
so that was the challenge.
Okay.
So take that deal and come up with 2 amazing burgers. So that's exactly why we're here today.
Wow. Okay.
So I've got my patties as part of the promotion. I've got that over there. And I'm using these amazing cheeses. It's the baby
love
ball.
this cheese.
They're so awesome.
Yeah.
So
they're great lunchbox ideas, though. As well.
Absolutely. A little bit of calcium, Kids love them. I love them.
Absolutely.
I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
So what I do is I take the cheese out.
Okay.
And then I pop them in the center of my patty. And I just top it with another one. So it's this is like a double patty, okay? And all I do...
That is naughty and nice.
It is naughty and nice. You're not going to do this every day.
Okay, cool.
So all you do is crimp it on the ends. So you've got the cheese inside there now. When all you do is pop it in a little pan. Got a little bit of olive oil in there. And then once it hits the pan, let it go. Leave it. Okay?
Walk away.
Walk away. It's going to do its own thing. So I'm going to put this to the side.
Okay.
I'm going to make... Okay, so in there I've got like that really seriously beefy flavor for the patties that have been seasoned already. So I'm going to make something like a little tangy and a little smoky to go with it.
Okay, nice.
So what I've got is I've got some cabbage. I'm going to take another piece over here.
So we're going to make a little slaw.
It is.
Okay.
A little slaw. I'm using red cabbage. You can totally use white cabbage. All you're going to do is just finely shred it. Get it as fine as you can. Unless you like it like
I love
crunchy.
the way you handle that knife.
Thank you. A lot of practice. A lot of fingers being replaced. So some cabbage, the cabbage goes in there. And I say keep it fine, but then again, if you want it quite crunchy, quite textured, keep it a little thick. And then some grated carrot goes in there. That's got some natural sweetness in there already.
Right.
But I'm kind of just like playing around with flavors at the moment, so I'm going to use some dried cranberry.
I love cranberry.
And that's going to be like this little bit of explosion of sugar, like a little sweetness in there.
Yes.
So that's the sweet and the crunch taken care of. But I've got over here for a little bit of smoky, I've got the smoked paprika. Little salt and a little pepper. So all the paprika.
Nice.
So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And then I got the Woolies extremely creamy mayonnaise.
Extremely creamy. That's how we like it.
Have to go for the extremely creamy.
Okay.
So all you do is mix it through.
Okay.
So that goes in there. And then that's done. That's simple, that easy.
That's our slaw.
That is our slaw. So
Yummy.
I've got a patty that I've made already.
So good.
And I'm going to plate it up. So I'm serving my burgers with the paprika and garlic wedges, part of the promotion as well.
Right.
Well, I'm
It's a good deal.
It
a lot
really
of food.
is. So that goes there. I'm actually going to, instead of lettuce, just do some parsley, just torn up, a little bit of freshness. Actually, let me do the slaw first.
Oh, well, popping the slaw in the burger.
In the burger.
Wow, these are decadent burgers.
They are so yummy and delicious.
Okay.
So the slaw goes down, a little bit of fresh parsley. And then you can actually see the cheese coming out the side.
And I can actually see the cheese oozing out. Oh, that's so amazing.
And then top them, and I'm almost done. The last part of my dinner is these amazing creme caramels. And I love when people actually eat them the wrong way. You know there's a wrong way to eat these?
Upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah.
But then again, you're going to do it any way you like.
I used to get these in my lunchbox when I was young as a treat.
Oh my goodness.
Like little ones, little baby ones. They were so yummy.
So you turn it upside down on a plate, click the lid, and let the caramel go crazy.
Ooh, yummy.
And that's my eating dinner.
There you go, eating dinner.
What do you think?
For a Friday night, for a cheat night.
For a cheat night.
Now, the key word for this scrumptious recipe is slaw. So SMS the word slaw to 33650. There you'll get a link for the full recipe and the ingredients. SMSs cost R1.50. No free SMSs apply. And if you missed any of this, here's a quick recap. Okay, we're back for the second part of our Burger Fest, and we've invited Arthur Jones, editor of Men's Health magazine, and he's got a spin on a health burger, right?
Yes, yeah. We wanted to include a burger that had more protein in it, a bit more fibre, and also just another option to fast food, kind of when you want to cheat. And this is a fantastic burger that anyone can make, pretty simple. And I've got to be honest, I think Clem's put some pressure on me here because his burger looks fantastic. But I'll explain it quickly. We're basically using Parmesan inside the burger and on top as a topping. It's basically the king of cheeses. It's got the most protein, which is great. And then all the other toppings have been chosen specifically. We've got avocado for some healthy fats. We've got bacon, obviously, for another bit of protein, and obviously taste as well, because everyone loves bacon. We've got some sliced red onion. We've got watercress, which is a great green. It's also one of the best protein contents in terms of the actual greens, which is awesome.
Know that.
Yeah. And then our side we chose to be sweet potatoes, so we get the fibre without getting the refined carbs in terms of the side. Yeah. So so we make it cooking.
It's a healthy cheat.
Yes, it's a healthy treat. And also, like I said, it's a great combination of good carbs and protein. So after a training day or a heavy training session, this is the perfect meal to have.
Perfect. Okay, should we get started then?
Yes, and just let me get started. So I'm going to start with my patties. Very similar to what Clem did, but it's a little bit less decadent in the sense that the cheese I'm using, like I said earlier, is the Parmesan.
Right.
And I'm going to add some jalapenos for a bit of bite. I do enjoy a bit of chili, and it's been shown it's got health benefits as well.
Vitamin C.
Yeah, and also your metabolism, which is really great. It helps speed up your metabolism. I mean, obviously, you can choose however hot you want it.
Right.
I do like it hot, so I'm quite a bit in there. But are you a chili fan yourself, or?
Yeah, well, you know, moderate.
Moderate. And then some Parmesan in the middle, around it. And then it's really basic, just like as before. Just make sure it's a bit crimped on the sides.
Okay, keep it all in.
Exactly. And I haven't got a cool name for it, but I think MH Monster Burger could be really cool or something like that.
I think that's a good enough name.
Yeah, and then just chuck it on. Okay. And then basically, same as Clem, let it cook for a while.
Let it cook slowly.
Slowly, try not to turn it straight away. You want it to seal and keep the moisture in. And obviously don't let the cheese escape or anything like that. And
obviously all that flavour sinks into the patty.
Exactly,
Yummy.
And like I said, it's going to be tough fighting Clem, but I'm hoping the bacon with the avocado and that Parmesan is quite a nice taste
quite a unique
combination.
Taste, yeah.
Exactly.
So you've got some that are already prepared.
Yes,
so
that's
should
correct.
we start assembling
Let's start assembly, definitely. Okay, so like I said, the brown seeded rolls, a bit more fibre, a bit better than the white option, white bread option.
Okay.
I'll put the burgers on the bottom. Or on the butter, sorry. That. Okay. Now I'm going to chuck a little bit of onions on top.
Right.
This also comes down to taste preference, because I know that guys don't... it can be quite crunchy, and it can be quite a strong taste. So just be careful, don't go too hectic on it. And then...
Avo, my favourite.
Yes, avo and the bacon.
Avo and bacon is a winner every time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So avocado on top, it's amazing. And you can be liberal with this because it's such a great topping.
And it's going to get all squishy and squeeze out the burger.
That's what we hope for, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some bacon on top. So
I think you're already giving Clem a run for his money.
Let's hope so, because this is his domain.
Competition.
Yeah.
Another
piece of bacon on here. And there we go. And then to finish off, a bit more Parmesan on top and some chili.
Always more Parmesan.
Always more, yeah. Exactly. There we go.
Okay.
And some chilies. Once again, this comes down to preference as well. You can decide how much you want. But I think jalapenos are great without being too hot. I mean, obviously, if you really like hot stuff, there's habaneros.
Then you can just load them in there.
Yeah, but the habaneros obviously comes with a proper kick. And then, and that's basically... Oh, sorry, I almost forgot the watercress. Yeah.
I see it's quite trendy to use smaller leaves in burgers now.
Yeah, and actually I found the smaller leaves, I mean, depending on what you use, like coriander or the basil, are obviously packed with flavour, which is great. Instead of using lettuce, it's not really... You
could use, what is it, what's the other one? The flat-leafed one.
Yes, well, like I said, there's so many you could use. And I think all of them
escape me.
Me too. But I think that for me, they taste better than just the basic lettuce variety, and pack a bit more flavour.
Okay,
and that's basically it. And then once you've made it, it's just basically putting the...
Just cover it.
Just covering it, and then putting it with your sweet potato.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
Looks
I mean,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but let's, I think obviously the proof's in the pudding and the taste. So
exactly.
We'll see
Well,
how
we
it goes.
can't wait to taste it. The keyword for this recipe is health. So SMS the keyword health to 33650. There you'll get a link to the recipe and the full list of ingredients. SMSs cost R1.50. No free SMSs apply. Here's a quick recap. Wow, gentlemen, your masterpieces look amazing. And I see that after you decided to pair your burgers with a fruit medley from Woolies.
Exactly, yeah.
That looks amazing.
I mean, it's quite obvious which one's the healthy one.
Okay, but you know what?
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, which one am I going to have?
I would go for the half one.
This one here?
Yes.
Really?
I would totally go for the half one.
It does look good, right?
It looks amazing.
It does.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's a creme caramel. Don't you just love the way she shakes?
Yeah, I love it.
And that's how you know it's been perfectly done.
Exactly.
Well, I would do an indulgence of both.
Yes, take a bit of that and dip it in there.
Yeah. Now, I honestly can't decide which of these burgers is the best, but why not let us know what you think on Facebook? Clem's Ultimate Creamy Slaw Burger or Arthur's Healthier Avo Bacon and Parmesan Choice. Now, from decadent burgers to a dose of health. After the break, I'm sitting down with dietitian Shreude to get some tips and in particular whether we should be taking supplements or not. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Fresh Pack Natural Goodness series. We regularly need reassurance that we're making healthy choices for ourselves and for our families. Fortunately, with the natural goodness of Fresh Pack, you know you're doing just that. Dietary supplements are intended to provide us with the necessary nutrients that may otherwise not be consumed in sufficient quantities through the food we eat. But are there more natural options we can explore instead to support our diets? Joining us is dietitian Shreude to tell us more. Welcome to the loft, Kelly.
Thanks for having me here,
Lovely to have you with us. Why do we need to take dietary supplements?
In an ideal world, we shouldn't need to take them. But in reality, there are certain circumstances where we might need to assist ourselves a little bit. So, for example, in phases of life, sometimes like pregnancy, for example, we would need a little bit more iron. And it can be difficult for some women to take in enough iron in that scenario. So, other scenarios where that might happen, if you're very stressed, your requirements for certain nutrients increase. So if you're not able to meet those increased requirements with your diet, a supplement can help.
Right. And what nutrients does the average person need to add to their diet to make sure that they have a well-balanced lifestyle?
Okay, so a healthy diet should contain all the nutrients that we need. So when we're thinking about nutrients, it's carbohydrates, proteins, fats is the big ones, so that you're getting enough energy from various sources. And then fiber is a big one, and water. In addition, you need lots of micronutrients, so things like the vitamins and minerals that are much harder to you can't see them, you don't know that you're eating vitamin C or iron or something. It's not that obvious to us. So those are the things that are sometimes a bit more challenging for us to get. A healthy diet does contain all of those things. So if you're eating lots of vegetables, sources of protein, sources of calcium like dairy, lots of different whole grains, a good variety of different foods, and you're not excluding any food groups, and you're eating regular meals, then you should be getting all of those things quite well. So if you're looking at supplements, unless you have a deficiency of something, it's very tricky to know what it is that you need unless you test for it.
Right. And can the use of supplements be avoided or lessened by making sure that you have a well-balanced lifestyle?
Of course it can. So just what I've said about, your diet can contribute all of those beautiful nutrients, that's fantastic. But then sometimes people like to take a multivitamin or certain supplements as kind of an insurance policy. So people are doing that quite often without testing for deficiencies. And that has, certain benefits Possibly, but they're not really known to us. So that's why I say it's like an insurance policy. You're not really sure if you need it.
Right.
So the best way to know what you should be taking is really to go and get a check, like go to the doctor and get a blood test and see, are you worried about your iron levels? Is there a concern that you might be missing a certain nutrient? So before you go and take a whole lot of different tablets, you should really check out what's going on. And then also implement lifestyle changes. So you know how I said earlier where if you're stressed, you require more nutrients. If you're very busy, you require more nutrients. If you need a lot of energy in the day, you're needing lots of nutrients to generate all that energy and to do things. So if you are feeling that way and you're a little bit stretched, if you can control and manage your stress a little bit, that's one lifestyle measure. And then eating a good, balanced, healthy diet is my absolute passion, and it's very important to do. But if you're not able to do that, a supplement can be an insurance policy.
Now, what foods and beverages can we add to our diets that ensure that we're getting the nutrients we need?
All right, so the big one that none of us eat enough of are the vegetables. I'm always ranting about eating more vegetables. As you know, I can see you looking bored already at that comment, but really vegetables...
No, this is the lecture I give my kids every day, so no.
You can never eat enough vegetables.
This is the stop thing,
You can't overeat them. You will stop eating them before you overeat them. So really just try whenever you can to add something fresh to everything that you eat. And that's because they contain vitamins and minerals, but also antioxidants that are so important.
Right.
When you're looking at beverages, I don't generally like recommending that people consume a lot of the nutrients from beverages just because they're not as satisfying as food. So if you're concerned about weight management and you're drinking a lot of your meals, you won't be as satisfied by them, and you can eat more calories that way than you would if you just ate the food. So things like fruit juice, for example, can contain lots of antioxidants and vitamin C, but it's also a very concentrated source of sugar. So I generally say, eat your fruit and drink some water. And then if you're wanting to include something more, then herbal tea like rooibos is a really good addition. So because it contains antioxidants and it doesn't contain the caffeine that tea and coffee contain, like normal black tea and coffee. So it's a really nice alternative.
And how does adding rooibos to our daily food intake help us in getting the nutrients we all need?
So rooibos is a source of antioxidants, just like vegetables and fruit. So it's a very valuable source of those antioxidants, and you can drink lots of rooibos because it doesn't contain caffeine and sugar. So instead of water, it will contribute to your water intake. So it's a really good source of fluid. So, and apart from just the antioxidants, it does contain trace amounts of minerals. So I wouldn't say that it contains the same amount of minerals that, say, a glass of milk might contribute calcium. So it's not going to replace those good sources of, really big sources of nutrients, but it does contribute trace amounts of minerals.
Why is it important for us to take in antioxidants?
Antioxidants help to fight free radicals. And I read something lately that was so beautiful about free radicals. They're like the little bullies in our body. So they're mean and nasty, and they go around fighting other cells and causing damage. And then they also incite other cells to come and join them and become bullies as well. So that's a really funny way to look at it.
Sounds like a playground,
But those free radicals are produced by oxidation reactions in our body. So an antioxidant helps to prevent the formation of free radicals and kind of stops them from going and bullying the other kids. So it prevents the damage in your body. It prevents the damage that can cause things like cancer and Alzheimer's disease and heart disease and inflammation in our bodies. So antioxidants are pretty critical to get all day, every day.
You mentioned earlier that rooibos contains trace amounts of minerals. Why is it important for us to take in minerals?
Minerals, it's a broad term for lots of little things. So things like iron and calcium and zinc are all minerals. And those make up our body. So you have calcium in your bones, you have iron in your blood, you have zinc in so many enzymes in your body. So if you're not taking in minerals, your body can't make them themselves necessarily. So it's important to get good sources of those.
Awesome. So why is it generally advised to avoid beverages that have lots of sugar and caffeine?
Sugar and caffeine, I call them non-foods. So they're stimulants. So they will give you energy, and it might be a short-term boost of energy, which can feel really good. But it's not providing anything other than pure energy or a sort of artificial kind of energy, which you get from caffeine. It's like an adrenal response almost. So if you're getting through the day eating lots of sugar and drinking sugary beverages and drinking things that are full of caffeine, and even eating things that are full of caffeine, you can get all sorts of weird things on the shelves these days. So if you're getting through the day eating those things and you're not actually giving your body the nutrients that it needs to generate real energy ever, then your body will burn out. it can't sustain that kind of high level energy on no nutrition. So, and that makes sense. You can't make a car drive on no fuel, so you can't expect your body to function optimally if you're not giving it all of the things that it needs.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kimmy.
Thanks,
It's always
Bonnie.
a pleasure. Fresh Pack Rooibos is all about choosing the healthy way. Whether you choose the classic range or the many flavoured or herbal options, such as soothing honey or calming chamomile, it's easy to enjoy all the beneficial antioxidants, no caffeine, and of course, the natural goodness of Fresh Pack Rooibos. Until next week, keep yourself and your family happy, healthy, and enjoying life with the natural goodness of Fresh Pack Rooibos.
Express yourself. Welcome back. You're still watching Afternoon Express right here on SABC3. We're in the kitchen, and as you know, Milk Tart is a classic South African favorite, but making it at home can be a tedious job, especially getting the perfect pastry crisp. But what we told you that we have a recipe that takes the effort of making pastry a thing of the past. You're intrigued, right? Well, here's the secret: Sasco Cookie Bake Mix.
It makes life so easy.
Is it that simple?
It is that simple.
Really?
Like, we can walk out the kitchen, it'll make itself.
No ways.
I don't know.
I doubt that very much. So where do we start?
Okay, so you can do this completely by hand, which is also great. But today we
Great.
got some machines in the kitchen, so we're going to use that. So first thing is we're going to actually add our bake mix, the cookie bake mix, straight into our machine.
Then the entire packet.
The entire packet. And the instructions are all on the packet, which makes life easy.
I love baking like that.
Yes.
You know? It's like
That's
paint
that.
by numbers. Bake by...
Instruction.
There we go.
And then goes our butter and 1 egg. So I absolutely love this because besides the fact that these make amazing cookies, like you said, we're kind of cheating and we're making this amazing short crust pastry.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that down there, get everything together, and then while that's happening, take it easy, got to start it slow. And while that's happening, I'm going to add some chocolate chips.
Straight into the mix.
Straight into the mix.
Yum.
And what's going to happen is, as soon as it starts coming together, you stop the machine, and you start using your hands. You can hear the chocolate breaking up. It sounds so amazing. So I've got a little bit of water. You can use that to help the mixture come together.
How much water is that?
See, this is when it comes to pastry. Just enough water so it starts coming together to make a dough.
Okay.
And then you know you're good. So you can see it's starting to come together as a beautiful dough. And that's
That
the
is
job done.
so easy.
So you could, like I said, you could do this by hand, and it's even quick, like just as quick with your hands.
That's amazing.
So I'm going to stop it right there. So all I do is now take the little mixture that we've got and put it into a little ball, pop it into a greased muffin tin, press it down, and use my thumb to kind of create these amazing little cups. If you can see what I mean.
And that's where we're going to put the filling.
That's right. So
The
these bake in the oven as per the instructions, and it comes out beautifully crisp and short. Short is the trick. Short means it kind of snaps in your mouth, crumbles, flakes, and like turns into like nothing but memories.
Yum.
That's it. That's called
Nothing
being
but
short.
memories. I love that.
So
Very
let's
smart.
put this down again.
Okay. So you put this into the oven first.
Yes.
And then you add...
And then they come out like this, perfectly set,
Okay.
perfectly crisp. So what you do is we're going to actually make the custard part.
Yes.
So it's real easy. So all I do is I heat up some milk.
That's what I was asking. So the custard part comes after the cookies come out of the oven.
But what's really, yes, so you bake off the crust first, and then the custard part goes in after. What's really cool is you can kind of make your custard a day before, or even like a week before.
Wow.
Keep it in the fridge, and you'll be whenever you're ready to go, it will be ready. So into my milk goes a little bit of butter.
Butter.
That's going to start melting together. And if you can pass with that bowl next to you.
This one
I'll
here.
take the sugar. Yeah. So sugar goes in. And then...
Another egg, 1 egg.
Another egg goes in. So all I'm going to do from here is give it a good whisk with some cornstarch.
Cornstarch. What does that do?
Cornstarch kind of brings it together, helps it set.
Got you.
Gives it that nice little texture to it.
Okay.
And once this comes together, and once your milk has simmered, you take your milk off the heat, you slowly add this to the milk, tablespoon at a time. If you don't, it kind of scrambles in your eggs, in your milk. You don't want that.
You don't want scrambled eggs.
You don't want scrambled eggs. So as you can see, that's the mixture you're looking for. That slowly gets added to your simmered milk. I'm going to pop it to the side over here.
Okay.
We've got that already, because we've got one made over here.
Clever. And that's how it's meant to look.
This is that nice custardy texture. I mean, you can go to a room right now with this.
That is yum.
And just be like sorted.
That is yum. All right.
So what you do is spoon that into your set bases. what's also great about these bases, you can make them and you can freeze them. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and obviously you can sort of like play around with the fillings and...
Because we got the chocolate in there, I'd make a delicious chocolate ganache.
Exactly. Chocolate sauce, chocolate sprinkles, chocolate...
Happiness.
Sounds
so obviously
delicious.
your milk tart's not a milk tart until you end off with some cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Aha.
Let's just see if we can get a little bit in there. You know what? Let's just go like this. It looks
Smells.
amazing.
Cinnamon makes everything okay, right?
It really does.
It's got such a great, great, great flavor and smell to it. There we go.
So quick and easy.
Let me...
You go for it.
Yeah, so good. Baking is a breeze using the Sasco Bake Mixes. And for more baking ideas, make sure you log on to the Sasco website or visit their Facebook page. And remember that Afternoon Express and Sasco are giving you the chance to win a Sasco product hamper and toaster to the value of 2,000 Rand. Simply cook a dish using any Sasco product, take a picture of your dish with the product used and post it onto the Afternoon Express Facebook page. It's as easy as that. Do remember, we the name of your creation and you could be a winner. T's and C's apply. What an exciting competition. Don't go anywhere. There's more right here on SABC3 after this. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, the season of the dress is finally getting close as we ease into spring. This summer, it's all about adorable dresses that obviously can stand the heat, whether it's a casual day dress, sweet florals, or a slip dress, or anything off the shoulders. Woolworths has the right one for you. Get ready for our season, with our edit of some of the favorite summer dresses. Let's take a look at our 4 key styles for summer.
For the summer.
Yeah, what's up first?
So I absolutely love a maxi dress.
Yes.
Especially if you're going to a beach town, right?
Yeah.
And you just have wanting an easy summer day.
Yeah.
And they always come in color.
Always in color. And it's so easy to wear, right? And the trick is to find one that doesn't get like wrinkled easily. So that you can just pop it out of your bag, put it on and just, add some accessories, go bag, some sunnies.
Big hoops.
Big hoops.
Big sunnies. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Those two are really stunning. All right. And next up we have the off-the-shoulder style, which... I mean...
that's my personal favorite just because my shoulders are like one of my favorite parts of my body.
Yeah. But also you've got a very delicious décolleté.
Oh, yes.
I love this. I mean, off the shoulders, very, very, very big. Polka dots. And of course, you can just flip it up. And
you can dress it up and down.
Yeah. Love it.
I also just love that you can add shimmer. I'm all about shimmer on the shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then the third style is the slip dress. Personally, my favorite. Absolutely love it. I wear a lot of slip dresses.
I've noticed.
This season, I do a lot of chokers. Easy to wear. I love it. I'm not really feeling how she's got it.
Yeah. I mean, a slip dress is absolutely sexy just because it's classic and it's simple, right?
Yeah.
So when you tend to layer it too much, it can go wrong.
It can go very wrong. But also my friends, a friend of mine, we're talking about the slip dresses and it gets very tricky if you're a big busted girl.
Yes.
That's another thing. So
you kind of want it to just fall easily.
Yeah, it's a very difficult style of dress to wear.
Yeah.
So, And lastly?
Ruffles dress.
Ruffles.
So romantic and so whimsical.
I absolutely love these. Are very bohemian, very classic. The thing is about fashion, I mean, this is like coming back, every other season it comes back. I really love
And I love me some pendants. I just love layering my pendants and just a beautiful pair of gladiators with a ruffle dress is absolutely
I'm
gorgeous.
all about chokers, all about pendants. I mean, this is really, really stunning. Well, there you go.
Now, if you're looking for a dress that is stylish and versatile, shop today with Woolies. They have all the hottest dresses, whether you're a mini, midi, or a maxi kind of girl. Woolies has the dress for you.
Absolutely. Well, Clem, we're ready to eat. Come join us. Join us. All right. Okay, take it easy.
You have a spin on a milk tart.
Yeah. Isn't this so cool?
And there was cookie dough.
So easy to make. Yeah, cookie dough and a little bit of custard filling.
A little bit of cinnamon.
Good, right? You are the man.
You know
Classic South African dessert.
I just love feeding you guys. It's all about that.
Well, there you go.
It's absolutely decadent.
Are you not going to have one?
I am.
Well, there you go. Those are really, really delicious. But tomorrow on the show, we're chatting to exceptional woman, Ashley McLean. She's a curator of the famous What If the World Gallery in Cape Town, and she is responsible for showcasing some of the top young artistic talent in the country. It'll be a fascinating interview, so make sure you're here. All right, that's it for today.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Another feel-good production.